Hey everybody, and welcome to the Practice Rocks series. So today I'm going to experiment with diminished arpeggios and diminished scales, and I will take a look to the applications of where we can use it, how we can use it, because it's quite it's got a quite interesting sound, especially if you use over dominant chords and even minor chords. So let's jump straight into it. Okay, so first I'm going to create a loop, and the first application will be over a major chord. And I know that it's quite unusual, but I will try to get it right. So let's see what happens. So I've got an A major chord, and I will try to use the A flat diminished arpeggio. But the thing is that I don't want to overemphasize it, so I will use it only sometimes, you know, at the end of the turnarounds. I think it can work, but the main usage of this diminished chord for me is to resolve to A, because if I don't resolve it, then it's got a very strange sound. But if I do something like, and here I resolve to A, you see? Okay, the second territory is to use a diminished scale or arpeggio over dominant 7 chords. And you know, this is widely used in metal music, but of course a lot of blues and jazz players use it too, because you can create very nice tension with it. And the case is the same, so you shouldn't overuse it. So what I usually do is to, so let's say if I have an A7 chord, then I use, for example, an A mixolydian scale. And at the turnarounds, I use the A diminished scale to create tension and then resolve it afterwards. So let me create a backing track very quickly and then try to improvise along with it. So let's use the mixolydian mainly. Here as you could hear, the main application is the mixolydian scale, and then sometimes I try to blend in the diminished scale. Now the diminished scale looks and sounds like this. And you know what I like to use is I like to use arpeggios and then stack them on top of each other. So like using always the Mixolydian scale. So now you can do the same using the diminished scale, and this way you will start from G. This way you create a lot of tension, which you resolve afterwards. So and you can blend in the pentatonic scale as well, the A minor pentatonic scale. With the blues note. So this way I use the Mixolydian, the A minor pentatonic, and the A diminished scale, and then blend them together very nicely, and use this arpeggio stuff. Okay, the last one, I will try to use it over minor chords, and this way I will create also tension and resolution, but it will be a standing harmony. I will use a B minor 7 chord, and let's see what we can do with it. So let me create the backing track very quickly. So first I will use the B Dorian scale, and I will try to blend in the B diminished scale. So as you can see, we can use it over a minor chord too, but very carefully, because if you overuse it, then it will be quite, you know, strange for the audience. So let's use the Dorian scale, and then go to the diminished from the Dorian, like. This is also a very fusion style playing, which I like. So yeah, I think you know, it's worth experimenting with different chords and scales, because you can get very exciting lines. And also what I always do is, if I play something interesting, that I try to catch it. So I take my mobile phone and I try to record it, so that I've got a lot of ideas, and this way I can create very interesting licks, which I can learn and use later on. So I hope you found this video exciting, and if you did so, then please come back 1 week later, because I will produce another video, and we can discover other interesting things as well. So practice well, and see you next time. Cheers.